Search and rescue operations have been called off at the site of a three-story building under construction which collapsed in Gwarinpa, Abuja. As the public awaits the report of an investigation, 20 people were rescued while 3 remain fatally injured. Preliminary investigation indicates a clear violation of the building plan. And Arise News correspondent Engr gives us the latest.
Rescue operations at the collapsed building at Gwarinpa, about 11 kilometers to Abuja city center, as the site remains cordoned off. Yet, this catastrophe raises many unanswered questions on this needless tragedy. The casualty figure shows 21 people rescued alive and 3 fatally injured.
Generally, the operation has been recorded successful because of the good collaborations that existed between all the stakeholders.
The Gwarinpa area is said to be under the supervisory control of the Federal Housing Authority, while the Development and Control Unit has input in ensuring quality structures are erected in compliance with the building regulations.
The further things that involves investigation and getting to know who is to be blamed, I think the administration will do the best they could. But I know that we need to do things right wherever we find ourselves. If you look at it, the building is supposed to be a two-floor building, but it was raised to 3. So that means somebody somewhere must have compromised. So the authority will be able to fish out such things and be able to really appropriately sanction those officers.
We tried to speak to the Development Control Unit, but it insisted that an investigative committee would be set up with the full powers to look into the reasons behind the collapsed site. Though preliminary investigation reveals that the developer had breached the building plan by adding another floor to it. However, emotions are running high as families and loved ones of the victim bemoan their fate as we await the outcome of a thorough investigation on the collapsed site. Engr, Arise News, Abuja.
Well, just to make a quick correction, 24 people were rescued.
Yeah, and not 20.
And not 20.
Yeah.
And now let's bring in Sam Omoke, who is the Executive Director, Federal Housing Authority. He is the Project Implementation Officer, I guess. Thank you so much for coming on the news tonight.
Thank you very much.
Building collapse, one too many, really. What or who is responsible for this tragic incident in Gwarinpa? And has anyone been arrested so far?
Okay, first, on behalf of the board and the MD and the management of Federal Housing Authority, we commiserate with the families and friends of those who lost their lives in the unfortunate and tragic incident. May God rest their souls. Okay, investigation has commenced. I chair the investigative committee, which has been inaugurated by the MD. First, we had to get to the site. When it happened, we were on site. We went to site immediately, tried to, mobilize heavy-duty equipment to help us move out and cut away and then save lives. Okay. That was the first one. Yeah. So we just concluded that to this evening, so investigation has started now. Yes, to determine the root cause of this problem.
All right, let's not preempt the investigation, so that at least it will be seen that you'd be doing a very thorough job. But let's look at FHA, the owners, the landlords of Gwarinpa Estate. Was that site approved for housing development? Because what we're told is that it's supposed to be a green area, something like a park. You want to tell us?
No, that's correct. That's not correct. I mean, when things happen, there's a lot of side comments, but I'm here to clear the air. So that is not a green area. Approval was gotten for a building to be erected there.
And the approval met all standards, for example, without preempting, the issues of quantity coming from maybe the Nigerian Building Society or the Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors and others who I'm sure are going to be part of the investigative panel.
Yes, of course. FHA comprises of a lot of professional bodies. We have engineers, we have architects, we have builders, town planners, and all that. So the approval we give, you know, conforms with the how it should go. However, the private developer contravened. There was some contravention. So we have already served a stop work notice. And
before this
incident happened. You know, yes, so we served a stop work notice and contravention notice. However, before it was implemented, before it was enforced, the unfortunate incident happened.
And what was the time frame? Because
absolutely,
you don't just give a stop notice and then go away and allow the builder continue.
No, we served it just last month. Just last month. And then, you know how these private developers can do? They can go to work at odd times, weekends, and when our team, we have monitoring team who goes to all our sites to monitor what's going on. So before the enforcement, he went to site without approval.
What was the contravention? Let's just understand it a bit. And again, I'm sure that the FHA gives approval for commencement of construction after obtaining development permit and all of that. And then there's inspection.
Intermittently.
Certification of various stages of the building. I'm sure you do that.
Of course,
so
right from
at what point did this developer get away with contravening? But tell us first, what was the contravention? At what point did he contravene? At what point did you notice?
Stop.
And at what point did you stop? Because I'm trying to understand the time gap here.
Okay. Yeah, like you're right. Every stage has approval. There's approval process. Like, and our monitoring team ensures everything is followed to the letter. Okay, so the second floor slab has been casted, and then the contravention was actually, like you said, trying to get a paint floor, which was not in the approval. Yes, so before it was enforced, the unfortunate incident happened.
When you say stop work process, what's the process of enforcement, for example? Is it not to seal the premises completely? And secondly, have you made any arrests yet? Because the contractor is the developer is well known to you.
Well, like I said, the first point of call is to save lives. So we concluded the rescue mission today, and the investigation has started in earnest.
You have not declared anybody wanted, have you? Or as the police, rather, it's the police that has the right to declare
wanted. Like I said, the investigation is ongoing. We are working with various organs. Right from the, we also want to use this opportunity to thank our sister agencies, the FHA, FCDA, who came to our rescue, FCTA, and Nigerian Police Force, and everybody who came. The fire service,
the road safety commission,
everyone who came. We want to thank you for coming to help in the rescue mission.
And do you know? And can you tell us how, you know, often or how rampant this is in Abuja, where developers contravene your own permits, your own laws? How rampant is that? And I'm asking this so that we're able to nip it in the bud and prevent a recurrence. 3 lives lost in this incident is too many lives lost.
I agree.
How rampant is this, would you say, in Abuja?
Okay, in Abuja, you agree with me, when you go around town, you see a lot of construction going on.
Yes.
And you notice the contravention sign, stop work sign on most fences and walls. So, you know it happens, developers want to beat the system from time to time. So that's the challenge the monitoring team has from, you know, trying to...
We hear because, one, they don't employ professionals, you know, to do their builds of quantity, you know, like the NIQS, the building society, structural engineers and what have you. And that sometimes, you know, the FHA too, they turn a blind eye because of gratification.
No, that's not correct. Our team is to detail.
If it's not correct, then why are we having this kind of building collapse?
There's also undertaking that their engineers have to sign, you know, that anything that goes, you know, is their responsibility.
And these are registered engineers in Nigeria?
Yes, we make sure they are registered. We make sure they have current certificates. We make sure they are practicing engineers, builders, you know, architects. We ensure that.
Okay. Yes. We also know that there are some buildings around that collapsed building. Can you tell us if they are affected And what's the plan for the area? Did it affect other buildings?
The structural competence
yes.
of
other buildings. Yes, you're right. We have already deployed our team to go do integrity tests on all the other buildings. So that would certify if they are good to stand or they are going to take out the action. If we are going to take out the actions on it. Yes.
Okay, Sam Omoke is an engineer and executive director with the Federal Housing Authority in charge of implementation. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.